Hello! Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Red Wine and Cigarettes. Cheers. Cheers!
Cheers,
um,
cheers.
I'm your host, Vanessa, aka Popo, and with me I've got Lindy Way, I've got Sibusi, I've got Mine. Yeah, and we really started this platform because we have the most amazing conversations, man. You know, when we're sitting and we're drinking wine, and we just thought the world deserves to hear. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up. We're here to have a good time. Hopefully, everyone has their poison on hand. Yeah, today our topic is ghosting, right? So I decided to do a little bit of research on ghosting because it's a thing. I've been ghosted twice. It was hectic, but basically, there's an actual definition in the dictionary now because it's become a normal thing. And it says the act of suddenly ceasing all communication with someone. The subject is dating, but no longer wishes to date. This is done in hopes that the ghostee will just get the hint and leave the subject alone. Who'd like to share a story about being ghosted?
You know, when you guys said ghosting,
Yeah.
I went, I've never been ghosted. No, I lied. And then I realized I have. I was ghosted by someone on Tinder. So we'd had this conversation for like a month. Every day we used to speak. From morning till night, we would be in communication with each other.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we're gonna meet. I'm talking about a month of intense conversation, intense going into who you are, what you're about, etc., etc. And then a month goes by of these intense and great conversations. Great person, you know. And then one evening I say, oh, a friend of mine's in town and we're going out. And this person says, okay, cool, chat later.
Mm-hmm.
And we had not exchanged phone numbers. We had just been chatting on Tinder.
Yeah.
They blocked me on Tinder.
Yeah.
Gone.
That's definitely ghosting. No, that's definitely ghosting. I had a situation where there was this guy I'd kind of been seeing for some time. One day I go to his house. It's a long story. I'll cut it very short. He knew I was coming. As I arrived, I'd taken an Uber. I didn't have my car at the time. As I get there, he's like, I needed to step out and go see a client. He was a lawyer. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just wait for you. And then the security guard says, after like 30 minutes, he says, hey, people in complexes are the shadiest people. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he was like, I don't want to get in trouble. I was like, I am not going to be giving any names. What do you mean by that? Like, this guy, he's here. And 2 cars came in. Long story short, I went home. This guy then sent me a message as I arrived home, and he's like, oh, I'm back. And I was like, you never left. And that was the last time. That was the last time that he spoke to me until I ran into him at an establishment in Randburg, and he was just like, oh, let bygones be bygones, etc. Mine, what do you think? Why do you think that ghosting has become so normal? It's become normalized. Why do you think that people flake so easily now?
Okay, so first of all, I think that there are different types of ghosting,
Yeah.
or rather from different people.
Yeah.
And I've chosen in my time alive to categorize things in their different boxes. So there's ghosting from either a love or an emotional interest, and then there's ghosting from a professional connection. There's also ghosting from friends, you know. So where we're talking emotional ghosting, I've been ghosted once or twice, and I did not in the beginning understand why it was happening, because I mean, I thought we were kicking it, I thought we were fine.
Yeah.
And then, it happens. But then from for example, a professional point of view, maybe you are having a conversation and you're trying to drive towards a common end, business wise, but this person is probably not ready to give forward or to deliver on what you had previously discussed. Okay. And that person, mostly guys, is not able to tell you, listen, I'm not ready to have this conversation with you. So you would be sending messages or calling and they ghost you.
Yeah.
From a friendship point of view and in relation to guys, a lot of it is pegged on just what men are about.
Yeah.
First of all, a guy can totally like you, right? Totally. Even just from a friendship perspective. But men sometimes feel like conversations get mundane as they are periodic. So maybe it's hot and heated, or the friendship is fun and whatever, and you guys are talking every day. But then the conversation gets to a point where it's, how was your day? What did you do today? So what's been going on with you? Wada wada. And for them, there's nothing more interesting that's happening, while in his background or in his other life, with lots of stuff going on. So then he will decide to first compartmentalize that conversation with you, and then totally and completely forget, and you're sitting there like, but I thought we were cool, know. So in many ways, when ghosting is like really ghosting, someone doesn't really want to talk to you. I think it's a situation where you need to read the room. Because I think that conversation kind of degenerates or slows down to some degree before then it goes completely quiet. And one of the things that we need to pray for is that insight to read a room, or to read the person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of an issue with this read the room theory, because when you start in a relationship, yes, you are on a high, and this high goes up, 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 up. And then you get to a point where you're comfortable, which is when the hello, how are you, becomes what you're saying men would read as mundane. But that's because we're getting used to each other. Not everyone is going to, it's not going to get better, gentlemen. That's what I'm saying. So I can't read the room because we've reached our peak, because what else from here? So I think for me, to say read the room is a bit unfair, because if we go higher from these conversations, because ghosting happens, where are we going? Where do you think that we're going to go? Where now, unless ngiyabhora nje vele, if ngiyabhora then ngiyabhora. But I think it's hard for me to read. It's hard for me to think of this concept of read the room, because then I'm constantly doubting myself and going, "Oh, be interesting, be."
Yeah.
And then that's what it is.
Okay, Lens. On speaking on the reading the room situation, what comes to mind is a recent ghosting situation that I had. Wow. I met this guy, it was amazing. We vibed, we liked the same things, we spoke. The last time I saw him, we said goodbye, and the conversation was, so what time do you want us to meet later? This is him, by the way, saying, so what time do you want us to go for lunch later? And I'm like, maybe around 3 o'clock, I'll be free then. All of a sudden, no text, no call, 3 o'clock. And I'm one of those people who's relaxed. And so I won't be on your case about things. And then all of a sudden his profile picture from WhatsApp was removed. I'm like, so you don't. No, but I think what I really want to speak about is why this has become a norm. On from the way I see it. I mean, I actually did research on ghosting, their tips on how to deal with being ghosted, and why ghosting happens. And I think at the core of it, a lot of it has to do with the way we've become socialized now. Like there's, with hookup culture, with women not having to be really courted anymore, with having everything at our fingertips, instant gratification, with being able to cancel plans at the last minute. Before, when we had landlines, you'd call someone and be like, listen, we're meeting Saturday, 8 p.m. at Carlton Center at Wimpy. And they'd be there. Whereas now, you're going to get a message at 5:05 for a 5 o'clock appointment. Oh, I'm so sorry, I got hectic, I won't be able to show up. So I think that is the core. What are your thoughts on that, Sibs?
I completely agree with you. Everything is so much faster now.
Yeah.
And so much simpler. I do think though that we've got a panel of girls and we're talking about how men ghost. Women ghost too.
100%.
Women ghost too. I know, not a lot, but I know of women that I've met that have said that they've ghosted. It is a societal thing of we're so fast. Everything's on the phone. You're right. I completely agree with you. Which is why sometimes I think we have to step back sometimes. Leave your phone. Let's slow down. In terms of when you get into a relationship, let's slow down on the tech part of it. And I don't know how to do that. I'm coming from a place of I don't know how to do that, but I think that is something that we need to try and look. How are we going to do that? Is it not better for us to? I don't know, but technology has made it so fast, and it's so easy when you get a message so I'm going to meet up with Popo at Carlton Center, and then someone hotter sends me a message and says, can we meet? And I go, whoa, actually, I'm not going to meet with Popo. I'm going to meet with
so-and-so. That girl that had him put on ice. Who's like that? Nah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think in terms of people, things being fast and having easy access to communication and things like that, I think we have, as a society, men and women, have lost a certain level of accountability in terms of our interactions all across the board. I mean, why is it okay for me to commit to engaging with you and leading you on, so to speak, only for me to decide 3-4 days or a few weeks down the line that I actually don't want to speak to you anymore and just not respond to your messages? I think if you're going to allow a person to believe through your actions that you're interested in them, then at least have the courtesy and the respect to send a text if you don't feel like talking to them face to face, or picking up the phone and saying, you know what, actually what we've had has served its purpose and I'm no longer interested in that way. I hope you understand. The person might not understand, they might, but accountability is really important, and we don't have that anymore.
But the fact is, we live in a world where this is happening. You know what I mean? We live in a world where this is happening, and don't you think that maybe we should, because of the way it's changed, no, I'm not saying it's good enough, but maybe we should learn to adapt, and maybe we should learn to manage our expectations. The fact that it's now in the Urban Dictionary, it means that it's a thing that happens. So how does one then look after self, knowing that this is a possibility? I literally, when I was Googling ghosting, there was a whole article on how to deal. It was very funny. Anyway, let me tell you some of their tips. They were like, give the person a time limit. Don't automatically blame yourself. Don't treat your feelings with substance abuse. Spend time with friends or family. Seek professional help. This is a real thing. Meaning, how does one navigate that happening to them? Because it seems like it's something that can happen, you know, and one shouldn't really be surprised when it does happen, because really it's become the norm.
Well, Paul, you know me, and this is what I'm going to say about this. Just like Lindiwe has mentioned, you know, there is a serious lack of accountability that comes with the comfort of being behind a phone, a screen, like you also mentioned.
Yeah.
And sometimes, when you're at the kicking it phase with someone, you're kicking it. And there's no serious need to demarcate intention. But I think we need to find ways to bring out intention when people connect with us. When someone is kushelaying you, someone is tuning you, they're like, "Hey, girl, you look, whatever." There needs to be a way that we are like, okay, what is your intention? Do you just want to kick it and have a few chats with me? Do you want to just hook up, have a drink? Do you want to just hit it and leave? We need to be able to have those grown kind of conversations with one another, because accountability is key. And I'll tell you something, just from conversations, like when we selected this topic, I did a bit of research and I asked a couple of people what they think about ghosting. And people just really, especially the male species, they really feel like it's not so much about you, girl. It's just about maybe I'm not where you're at. I'm not where you're at. And we've been chatting and talking and being, like Sibu said, we've been integrated and very in tune for a month. But then now I'm kind of like doing a business deal, or I'm inundated with my work, and if I don't respond to you, don't take it personally. Another one was just like, I can't keep typing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that, guys. And what you were saying, when you were saying that some of the coping mechanisms in your research were don't blame yourself. This guy is just sitting there. He's looking at you talking about, or this girl, talking about, oh, today, my boss, this, my friends, that, my family, whatever. And he's just thinking, dude, I just want to drink my beer, I don't have to.
Let me sorry, Minnie. Yes.
Simple.
I think that what Minnie said, I hear her, but it goes back to accountability.
Yes.
Then you must be honest. I saw someone in the comments talking about hinting. Women, stop hinting if you don't like a guy. Straight up. I don't like you. I'm sorry. This is not going to work. I know it's hard, but we have to do that because we expect so much from guys. We expect them to do that, right? But then now we must say, I've been hinting that I don't like you. No, be straight. Guys, men, just say it. It's gonna hurt me, and then I have to move on. I'm gonna put my big girl panties on. But as a society, you have to say, we have to go back to ka angikfuni. We have to. Because their panties on. I'll put my big girl panties on and just be like, Konja, who said they like me? And then go look at my phone and look at somebody else. But you have to tell me.
Okay, so everyone, you're watching Red Wine and Cigarettes. For those who've just joined us, we are talking ghosting. When you suddenly get blue ticked or you get blocked or the phone calls stop being answered. And really, we just want to speak about why that happens, what you do when that happens, and really how and why it's become such a norm in our society. So there's some comments coming in. I think we should read one right now. There is a comment from Sabi Sam Matsubane Ngwenya, who says, I think most women ghost because they don't know how to tell a guy straight up that they don't like them. They hint, and after a while, they get tired of hinting and then eventually ghost. And I think that ties in with what Sibusi was saying. I think not just as women, I think as people, somehow it's been communicated to us that direct, unfiltered communication is rude or it's harsh or savage. That's what I get called all the time because I'm that person who's just straight. I put it like it is. You know what I mean? And I offer that because I feel like that's to respect you. You know what I mean? I feel like my communicating something, even if you do not like it, is to respect you. Because otherwise, I'm making a fool of you. And that's something I don't want you to be doing to me. You know, that's not something that I want you to be doing to me. You know, but in a world where people do not communicate in that manner, I also think that maybe we need to be a bit more sensitive to the hints. A lot of the time, guys, if you're talking to a guy and you're messaging him mostly, you're the one who's the initiator. 90% of the time, you're sending the first message, you're calling, he answers. I feel like that's communication in and of itself. What do you think, Liz?
I definitely think that's communication. We do need to also be cognizant of the fact that some people, like you said, can't communicate directly. And people communicate with body language and just the way they treat you. And if you're the one who is initiating the conversation most of the time, most probably her or him, they're not into you. And they're not feeling the same vibe. They don't really want to talk to you. They just might have been bored and no one else is talking to them at that time. And your messages are being responded to. You know, they respond a day or two later. And I mean, then you either start the conversation of, okay, I like you. Where is this going? What do we do about it? Or you just leave it alone and move on. Really, because you need to choose yourself. And that's actually giving yourself some form of emotional trauma by allowing yourself to be the one that's always chasing after someone and wanting to initiate conversation. You're interested in their lives. You care about what they do. How is work? What's that kind of stuff. And you're not getting the same questions. No one's asking you how was work. No one's asking you what did you eat for lunch today. Did you eat for lunch? Did you eat lunch today? You know? You're giving what you want to get, but you're not getting it back. Go where you're gonna get it.
And how do you guys feel about the notion that guys, people often tend to view things as having happened to them, like this victim thing. You know what I mean? And not taking their responsibility in it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the time a woman gets ghosted, but she should have seen it coming. You know what I mean? Where this guy was like throwing all the signs. Like he was just like, hey, darling, I'm a little bit lukewarm. You know what I mean? She's forcing issues. You know, I think a lot of guys as well, I'm not gonna lie, I have ghosted a guy. I'm not saying I'm an innocent in all of this. I have been in a situation where I'm just like, hi, muto utlongtile. You know what I mean? And I literally just blue tick them. I blue tick. I won't block you. I'm gonna open the message. And I'm gonna close it. And you're putting it online. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I haven't done it, but sometimes it almost feels as though I've communicated this. I feel like you know enough for you not to still be bothering me. You know, and then on the other side, that person is like, you ghosted me. I didn't ghost you. You didn't catch a hint. Mine, what do you think?
I think on all sides, guys and girls, the cute ones and not so cute ones, but everybody's cute. You know, get over yourself. Get over yourself. And a lot of times the reason why people will not catch the hint or read the room, you know, me not excluded, is because you're like, but I'm awesome. Why doesn't this person want to speak to me? But I'm totally fantastic. You know, but you are not everybody's cup of tea, honey.
100%. Every pot has a lid. And I may not be good, and you may not be my pot.
Exactly.
Okay, there is a comment from someone who says, people have ulterior motives. In most instances, they are not interested. They just want to ride and dash. Basically hit and run. Tap and go. It goes with sex, period. And one tends to feel so inferior due to the way they've been treated. The truth of the matter is that one has to move on. If, not gonna say the word, but we all know it, if it's sad. And that, I how do you feel about that, Sibs? I mean, hookup culture says what? What do you think about this comment?
You know what? Okay. Ulterior motive. It does. I do not know if Sibs, who is older than she was when she was ghosted that one time, will deal with it better. I think the way I dealt with it then was fantastic. But now that I want more, and as Minnie said, I think I'm amazing.
Yeah.
I actually think that I will take it even worse now. Because the amazing builds I get, it becomes more. I'm even more amazing than when I was ghosted or whatever amount of it.
Yeah.
Now
you have
now I would be like, what the hell? But that's maybe why also when I'm in a relationship, I talk constantly. And I ask and I go, I don't like this. I don't know. And you know why? Because I do not want that disappointment. When something happens, I must have expected it. So I've taught myself that. And it maybe does go back to what Minnie was saying, was like when I said read the room. So maybe I'm reading the room in my own way. So I'm constantly reading the room, constantly going, this is fine, right? No, this is fine. Not because I doubt myself, but because I don't want at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, where did you disappear to? I'm amazing. My 2 cents.
So I was reading up on ghosting, right? So apparently there are levels to this ghosting thing. This is the one I want to speak about. The person who quickly disappears without notice and leaves opportunity to reinitiate communication. That guy who ghosts you and then 3 months later he says, hello, stranger. Yes! Minute. Your eyes are saying
go by.
Be talk. Mine, speak, darling. Speak. Hello, stranger. Mine.
Let me be objective. Okay? Because we are live, guys. Okay? Let me be objective. So maybe this person, look, every connection is within certain different circumstances. Okay? So you could make a great connection with someone, but there are outside circumstances that cause that person to be like, wait, I need to think about this. I need to give it some thought. So the problem with that person is not telling you that they need to give it some thought.
Yes.
Okay, that's the problem. When I look at it from just, my general very who I am nature, I'll be like, nigga, you crazy.
You're just crazy. Like,
do you know me? Like, what is it? Like, look at Kyoru. I'm even talking Kikuyu, guys. But then we have to be, guys, we have to be objective about the circumstance which this beautiful connection comes into being. Because there are people who be like, oh, it's a bit complicated, or maybe she's got lots of expectations, or maybe I'm not ready, but she's really cool, so let me just sit back first and leave it. But the mistake that happens is that lack of saying, I need to go, my dear, I need to go silent for a couple of days or for a couple of weeks, and I will speak to you later. Is it okay if I contact you later? But you see, that's not the nature of e-ghosting. E-ghosting is e-ghosting.
Sibs, you had your hand up.
Yes, I was just like, sorry. I hear you, and then I had a thought about Sponelo's comment as well. Guys, if you are riding and dying, if you are just there for, not dying actually, just riding. If you are just there to ride, say so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say so. There ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong.
But with a little bump and grind.
You have to say it. You have to say it. Guys, and there's nothing it's batala. Once you hit 18, it's batala. And I say 18 because these things are happening to 18-year-olds, y'all. Just say it. Okay. Say, I'm trying to go, you are hot, and that's it. And I don't see a relationship. But everyone has to start being honest with themselves.
Yeah.
And then also voicing that honesty. Or even hinting at the honesty. Like, hinting is fine.
Yeah.
But if at least hint, it's just
yeah. But I just wanna weigh in on Mine's perspective. You know, where she was saying that sometimes people disappear because they just want to sit back, they want to think, and then they come back. Okay, so as a person, okay, wait, Sabi says, say so, thank you. Yes, say so. But what I was saying is, okay, so say you decide to allow this person back into your space. How do you allow them back into your space, but make it clear that you are not going to tolerate that type of behavior and you're not going to allow that level of disrespect?
I was actually going to speak to that, exactly that.
We read each other's minds.
You know,
I'm a twins.
I think there's similar points that basically link to each other that we touch on here, and communication is key. And unfortunately, I think as you grow and you start to understand how fabulous you are as a human being, you need to be able to understand that you must choose yourself. If a person did not feel that you mattered enough for them to communicate with you and say, honey, you're awesome, we vibe, but I'm not in that space. I'm having baby mama drama. I'm having baby daddy drama. Because people have lives.
Yeah.
People, like, life is stressful. Like, there's so many things that everyone is going through. Sometimes you even don't want to date or anything for financial reasons, but you really like the person you've met, but you're just like, I don't have the capacity to date. Dating costs money. I understand that reason very much. So to ghost me and not say that I'm not in the space to have a relationship is very disrespectful. And I think people just need to learn to be open enough and respect each other's beauty and each other's value.
Yeah.
And just be like, I value you. You're an amazing human being. And communicate that, I really don't want to lose you. Because, you know, people do this doorstopper thing where kind of keep you on pause.
Where you're a seat warmer for the girl he actually wants. Wait, there's a comment that's come up from Mosama Kheta. She says, I think it's important also really to really be receptive to the upfront guy who will tell you straight and be able to stomach it and walk away with dignity.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we like tell it like it is, but then we are unbreakable with. He will go because you latch to him no matter what he throws at you. Is she speaking the truth or not? Right? We need to take responsibility. You know, we really need to take responsibility. I think we like being victims, guys. Yeah. You know, especially women. Yes, women, I'm calling you out. We like to be victims. You know, I don't know who said it, but Oprah said something that someone said. Where she was like, when someone shows you who they are, believe it.
Believe them.
Believe them the first time.
Here's my manual. Look, read the book. And we're just like, no. Okay, so Bonano says, you can't, never. How on earth would you allow them back in your life? I vote. Okay. Based on that comment, guys, we've all made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Can you, is it wrong to leave a little bit of room for a person to correct said mistake? How would they have to come at you for it to be acceptable for you? I see a hand. Sid.
Listen, so when you guys said it, I was like, never, Dad. You can never allow anybody like that back in your life. But in relationships, we do things and people do things to us that are maybe not ghosting, but they might be at a level where you go, oh, how dare you do that? And you take them back and you go, let's work on this. Let's try and make it work. So when I heard y'all, I was like, and I was like, Bonetta, I was like, what? I never take it back. And then I thought about it and I said, no, but in relationships, constantly there are things that happen that when they happen, you go, no. And then you go, actually, maybe. So I disagreed. And then after 2 seconds, I went, actually, Sirbs, would you? And the truth is, it depends on who the person is and how far within the ghosting we were.
Yeah.
If a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, I'm not taking it back. But if it was like 3-4 months, I might. I have to listen to you as well, because after 3-4 months, I have a basic idea of who, or I hope I have a basic idea of who you are.
Yeah.
So I should be able to listen and to try and understand. I should. Will I? I don't know. I'm just saying that. I don't know. I might take that.
I think it probably doesn't only have to do with the time. It also has to do with how into the person you probably were. Mine, you wanted to speak?
I have this to say, mainly about empaths. Dude, we're out here looking for projects. And there are people who you will connect with and you will vibe, like a good vibe. Yani, vibe mzuri, yani a good one. But at the end of the day, they start acting out of turn. They start misbehaving. But because you're this empath and you think that no, you're always filling in their blanks for them. This is what they're going through. Maybe they have issues with commitment. Maybe they're busy at work. Girl, you got work. Girl, you've got a family. Girl, you've got scars, and you're also scared. You're also, And we just need to get, like Sib says, it's very dependent, number one, on who the person is. But number two, also like Lindy West said, and I love everything Lindy West says, she needs to come and live inside my pocket forever. So that when
Sorry, am I cutting you off?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we need to value ourselves better and more. And learn where to draw the line and be like, you did me. Stop.
You did me dirty. So Swanetta says, and that's when you start building up issues, allowing psychological traumas to take its course. You know exactly who they are. Then you've got no reason to cry about it. And that's the thing I was talking about. Just also us taking responsibility for our own emotional health, for reading signs, for believing a person when he says something to you. Here's one thing I know about men, guys. Ladies, whoever's watching there, and if you haven't heard this, and this is not a truth that sits in your gut as truth, listen to me, I'm helping you today. Here's the thing. Here is a truth about men. A man that wants to be with you is going to be completely unequivocal about that fact. He's going to make sure that no one else can step into that position. So when you ask him, what are we? And he says, no, babe, let's just go with the flow. Let's just let it grow organically and see where it goes. He ain't about it. So you are participating in your own emotional trauma. Sibs, Sibs, talk, boo, talk.
Okay, wait. I hear all of this, guys. I hear all of this, but I have a question. And I want people to answer. And it just popped in my head, Listen, guys, it's been locked down. I want to know, ladies, that is with the married men, have they ghosted you?
They probably have.
This is the thing, because it's lockdown and the wives are doing the most. Wives are they are cooking every day.
God, in the morning, in their tights, they are cooking. They are bedding.
Honey, I would love the perspective of and unfortunately the comments won't come through because we're gonna see your name. But it's just like an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing for me. Like, so fine, us regulars, we can get ghosted, but like lockdown for the mistress, for that girl that's always been getting the attention, like lockdown ghosting from a rich man. Who is paying your rent? I know I'm going far from the subject now, but I'm not because it's ghosting. Who's paying your rent, girl? Who pay for your core? Like, I feel pain for them. I'm like, this is actually painful. No, guys,
and let me say something, guys. Let me say something to anyone who's watching. We are not here to judge, okay? So I feel like these are things that need to be spoken about. So if you want to drop your comments or your stories or share in our inbox on Facebook or in the DM on Instagram, feel free to do that. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about it. You know, we're not here to shame anyone, guys. This life is a journey. This life, we stumble, we fall, we make good decisions, we made bad ones. Sibusi has a hand up.
Because people have been saying that for the first 2 weeks, the man was still sending monies, right? And stuff. And then their alcohol ran out, and then they didn't have money to buy the expensive black market alcohol. So also the person's not sending money because
which we know nothing about.
And sometimes people ghost because they're in a relationship, and then whatever issues they had with their partner was then fixed, and then poof, gone. So so sometimes people don't even say, "Oh, I'm in a relationship," or whatever. And then after you find out, Mang was in a relationship, you're like, that's why they ghosted. Because what it was that they were having at that moment, whatever problem that they were having with their partner was then fixed. Guys and girls.
Mine, I'll get to you now. Let me just read this comment.
Okay.
Lagazi says, they don't ghost, they still sending videos. They are finding FaceTime moments. I have many guy friends who feel lockdown has strengthened their external affairs. They still pay girlfriend allowance. Okay, Mandlagazi, my first thought is that these guys have financial muscle. There are some guys who at the moment, because it's real right now, lockdown's real. A lot of industries have closed, a lot of people don't have revenue, yes. But so they are definitely some blessers outside of their core relationship who haven't been able to service that. Mine, you wanted to say? Mine, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to speak to Sibu, or to what Sibu was talking about. Yeah. And I think in most cases, if you are at the stage of a relationship where you are transacting, I would like to believe that you know each other pretty well. And the problem that women have, or some women have, is that they don't know their lane. If you know that you are a recipient of auxiliaries, and you are not the main, and it is lockdown, Moose. Can you save yourself the trouble and stick to your lane? Understand what?
Because we are never sleeping.
Here's the wine.
Here's the wine, Peppy. Thank you.
Don't go rocking the goddamn boat. You already know why and how you're there, right? Now, you being all over the joint, blah, blah, blah. If he's not meeting his end, girl, you do your part. Find yours. Honestly.
No, and here's the thing.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a recipient of auxiliaries. That's fine.
I was about to say,
but during lockdown, understand, honey, it's not going to be about you.
We're not here to judge or speak for or against you being a side chick or whatever. That's none of my business. But I think what Mine is saying is, if you know that you're the girl on the side, please understand, observe protocol.
Thank you.
All protocol observed. You know, I don't think any of us are going to speak on our position on that because we don't need to do that. But the reality, and I saw Mandlagazi put up another post about, yes, they do have the money, but the reality of the situation, guys, is that a lot of people have found themselves in a very different financial position. You know, Corona happened to us. It was nothing that was preempted. It was nothing that we could prepare for, because it just happened. And now the girl who lives on the Blesser's 20,000 a month, now the Blesser doesn't have that extra capital, and the wife is now managing the finances because she's like, how do we stretch money? So she's cut off. That's what
are you gonna do?
We've already been up for like 46 minutes and it was supposed to be 45. And time went by so fast because we having so much fun, you know. But I just like to get part of from you guys about when it comes to ghosting. Here's the thing: ghosting's gonna happen. It's not something that's going to stop. You know, technology progression has just made life so much faster. You know, so in a world where we live with ghosting, how do we equip ourselves to navigate that toenail of Satan?
Oh gosh. You have to go with the person that probably can't deal with it the most, right? I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with ghosting. I don't know how to deal with ghosting. I won't lie to you. I think it's one of the most painful things that anyone can put you through. And it's a reality, as we've talked about it. So Sibs is gonna say, no, let me not say that. Let me not.
Why not?
No.
Do it, gal.
No, because I was gonna say, you know, drink your way through it, and R&B Sunday your way through it. Kaya FM, Metro FM, 702, from 9 a.m. on a Sunday until midnight, and some alcohol. That's how I deal with ghosting.
Mine, I'm hoping you'll come with better wisdom.
I have literally one sentence, and this sentence or this phrase is so profound for me because it's something that I've been learning over my life. And I thank God so much for the opportunity to feel and learn new things. Okay? So this is what I have to say. Where respect and courtesy is no longer served at the table, get up and leave. You are so much better. You are so much greater. You're so much more beautiful. And you are as somebody's everything. You just need to find who that somebody is. Unfortunately, we didn't talk about like ghosting in business or ghosting in friendships, and we talked about it in relationships, but I think it serves the same purpose across the board. Give people their space. Kama hawataki kuongea, if they don't want to talk,
okay,
just
I'll get
learn.
Let me just comment from Mosama Kheta. Navigate it by taking conversations as data. Read information and believe it.
Hallelujah.
Surely healed because it's based on act.
This woman is wise.
Awesome. Thank you, Musa. That's my sister. That's my little sister, y'all.
Hello, Lucy.
I do agree with Musa. I think I'm just going to take a bit from what everyone has said and kind of summarize it in the sense that I definitely always push understanding yourself, knowing yourself, self-value. And when you are ghosted or when you're engaging in whatever relationship or situation, whatever it is, for you to protect yourself, from things like being ghosted. I would think that it might be wise for us to actually start the conversation. One of the ladies said it earlier about, okay, so kind of understand where's this going. But firstly, you need to understand what you want. You decide what you want. You communicate what you want, and you say yay or nay to the other person, and just put it out there. They'll have their response and take it from there. And you also need to understand that you don't own anyone.
Yeah.
And other people have the right to make their own decisions. Yup, we are all awesome. And as awesome as you are, that person might not be ready for you at that time in their lives. Just trust what they've said to you and move on. Appreciate that you had that interaction and you had that beautiful chemistry. It's always nice to have chemistry, you know?
Yeah.
And take the beauty of the chemistry with you and move right along.
Yeah. I think the core of what everyone is saying is basically, I think there's power in knowing what your expectations are, knowing what your deal breakers are, knowing what is a yes and knowing what is a no. Things are always going to happen to you, but you need to decide how you respond to those things, where you draw the line and you say, no more, I'm done, goodbye. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, when a person is abusing you, you are also a participant for as long as you choose to be a participant. You can leave. So the question is, do you choose to leave or not? Okay, listen, my girls and I could go on forever, 4 hours. But our time is capped, but feel free to keep engaging with us on Facebook, on Instagram. We weren't able to go live on YouTube today because teething difficulties, but from next week, we'll be live on YouTube. We'll be live on Facebook. Please subscribe on YouTube and please click on the bell so that you never miss a conversation. Your phone is like, hello, those crazy chicks are back. Let's go talk to them, pour yourself some wine, and join us next week. So next week, I will be back with, hi from the Philippines. Hi. I hope you come back. Next week, I'll be back with Sibusi and I'll be back with Malini. And we'll have another guest, hopefully a male. We're still thinking about who. And we will be speaking about when a woman gets to the noted stage. Here's what noted means. So you know how men like to say, oh, this bee is stressing me. Oh, she's always complaining. She's nagging. Basically, we are speaking about what is happening when she suddenly gets quiet and she's like, no problem. Okay.
No problem.
She's not fighting with you anymore. What is happening when she gets to that stage in her life? It's going to be lit.
I'd like to say what a pleasure. It's been such.
Catch us next week, Thursday, 8 p.m., Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Subscribe, like, support us. Let's have real conversation. We're normal girls having normal conversations that aren't generally had on public. Y'all thought it. We said it. And that's why we're going to be your favorite girlfriends. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night.
Good night.